Autobots, transform! Jazz, organize a battle unit. We're going after them. Prowl!
What's up, Transformers family? Welcome to another episode of George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and today we'll be taking a look at Autobot strategist Prowl. He is number 17 on our countdown. And you know, in these videos, I like to flash back and talk about their Diaclone ancestry and how Hasbro got these figures from Takara and their Diaclone car robot line. Mostly because I like to talk about the variants. And the funny thing about Prowl is, in the Diaclone line, he really didn't have a variant. I mean, you could count the other Datsun Z cars, but as far as the police car version, he didn't have a variant. In the Diaclone car robot toy line, Prowl was not a self-aware robot like he is in the G1 Transformers continuity. Instead, Prowl was piloted by a Diaclone driver, and the Diaclone drivers were similar to the Voltron Force and the Power Rangers and things of that mythos, where the guys would wear a special outfit or suit, get inside the vehicle and drive it, and then transform it into a battle robot. Even like Robotech, I guess I could use that as an example, where the guy would get inside the vehicle and then transform it. So that's a good example from Japan as well. So this is a similar type guy. He'll get inside and transform it into a vehicle. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, if you've never seen one, if you watched all my reviews, you're like, here we go again. But this is a Diaclone pilot from pre-Transformers history. He's made out of plastic and some die cast, and he has magnets on his feet. So it looks like strange looking little face or helmet. I'm assuming that's a helmet meant to look like a face, but I don't know. Given the culture over there, I don't know. But anyway, you would take this guy, and I just want to show you this because as children, we all kind of knew these things had like a little cavity inside or space that looked like a seat. And Prowl seat is cleverly hidden into the latch where you would reconnect the waist after you transform it. So he's one of the guys, like a lot of the guys, you could clearly see a seat, but he's one of the guys where it kind of doesn't really look like a seat, but that is a seat. Take this guy, get him in the seating position, and he fits perfectly right there. See how he fits right in there, metal feet and all, magnet feet and all. Then you close it back up, and there you have it. He's sitting in the middle, but that's kind of the way it worked. But you can see him clearly in the driving position, and from the front, from the side, and this guy would drive around and do all the things they would do in that Diaclone toy line. And like I say, the reason why I bring up the Diaclone toy line mostly, I mean, I like to give a little bit of backstory, but mostly because these guys had such cool variants. But Prowl in that line, he was just like this. Even this version I have, in that line, he had Diaclone on the hood and on the doors. But the version I have has the Diaclone, so there's not much difference in this version and the Diaclone version. But Prowl would get a repainted version in what is known as the IGA Prowl, or Mexican Prowl, where the black and white patterns are different. And here's a picture. I have long lusted after this version, but my friend actually had it, and when he sold it off, I didn't have the money at the time. I wanted to get it from him, but man, I kind of missed out. But when you see this version of Prowl on eBay or something, it is super rare. And if you are a collector of G1 Transformers and G1 rare Transformers, man, you got to go after this guy. And I know I'm kind of creating my... All right, moving on to just Prowl and just Hasbro and what Hasbro gave us and what we were intended to play with. Prowl, he's based on a Datsun 280ZX police car cruiser. And in the last video, I accidentally called Blue Streak a Nissan. And that was a total slip of the tongue. I didn't realize I was saying it until people commented. I've actually corrected people when they call this car a Nissan, but it is a Datsun. And here's a pic of the actual car. All right, let's take a look at the bio that Hasbro gave us and intended us for play with this figure. It says Prowl. Function, military strategist. Motto, logic is the ultimate weapon. Prowl will keep at a task for as long as it takes. Strives to find reason and logic in everything. A listener, not a talker. Has the most sophisticated logic center of all Autobots. Able to analyze and advise on complex combat situations almost instantaneously. Fires wire-guided incendiary missiles and highly corrosive acid pellets. The unexpected can often scramble his circuits. Let's take a look at Prowl's technical readout. It says strength is a 7. Intelligence is a 9. Speed is a 7. Endurance is a 9. His rank is a 9. His courage is a 9. His firepower is a 4. And his skill is a 9. And those are some pretty high numbers. I think they're the highest numbers outside of Optimus Prime. And it clearly shows what we never saw in the cartoon. As far as rank goes from the 1984 guys, he was second in charge. And the cartoon would lead you to believe that it was Ironhide. But it was Prowl, then Jazz. With Jazz being more of his right-hand man on Earth because he knew more about Earth somehow. I don't know. But that is his numbers and stats. Alright, on to the figure. To the Datsun. Let me say it again. Let's take a look at this particular one. Like this is a little bit of a variant and an anomaly. Because like I said before, he has the Diaclone still on the door from the Diaclone line. It says Police, Highway Patrol. He has chrome rims and rubber tires. I actually stickered this guy up myself. I bought it mint sealed in box. Well, the box wasn't mint, but I bought it sealed in a package. Diaclone right there, Autobot symbol. It is a pre-rub version. But like I said, it's a little weird. I'll get to that. Back of the car, these are all the official stickers. I put them on there. The light bars on top. Translucent red plastic with chrome around the light bar. Some detail in there. You can see the molded in door handle right here. Stickered up lights. I think that's it for his detailing. I don't know if these little notches are supposed to be the mirror or to hold something in place in transformation. I don't know. And he has the molded in vents here on the hood and here. This entire portion here is die cast. So is the back sides of the car. A lot of die cast and Prowl. Turning Prowl over. And let's check out his date stamp because I want to talk about that. It says Hasbro 1980, 1984, and you can see there's a stamping omitted here, and then the Japanese circle is omitted, is gone. And because this is a slightly different version, I bought this off a guy 20 years ago. This is the box. Check this out. The box has like a Chinese sticker. Well, I'll try to adjust the camera. Has a Chinese sticker over the top right here, and I believe that says Transformer. I actually translated, and if I got it, I'll pop it on the screen. Some Chinese writing right here. Yeah, but this is the vintage box. I can tell you that. That's Prowl right there. Transformation on top. Right there. Bottom of the box. Man, I love these boxes. I love staring at them as a kid. It's a pretty cool box. Like, when you think about it, it's just a box, but it's also a pretty cool box at the same time. Back of the box, you can see where the sticker wraps around. One guy told me this was a late 80s, early 90s second production run of these figures, licensed to the Chinese market. And that's why the differences in the toy. Because there are a couple differences I'll show you when I transform him. Still says Hasbro Bradley Inc., Pawtucket, Rhode Island, all that. Robot points still there. And pretty much the same old, same old. So speaking of his same old, let's get some of the things out that Prowl came with. This is the original poly bag. The instructions came in. I opened it myself. I don't recall. I think the bubble got mildewed or damaged or something, the internal bubble, and I wound up getting rid of that. Here is his decoder for reading his spec, his technical spec right there. Here is this spent sticker sheet. I put these on personally years ago now. Here is his catalog. Let's take a look at that. And like I said, Prowl is number 17 on our countdown. Here's the fresh mint catalog. All the Autobots up to Optimus Prime. Prime is next. Spoiler alert. Then the Decepticon lineup. In case someone hasn't seen this in a while. All the way to Megatron. So we are almost there. I haven't forgotten about the contest giveaway either. I'm making a video about that now. And here is Prowl's instruction booklet. And the thing I noticed about this instruction booklet, you can like see through to the other side. So it's like, it's a little bit thinner. It's different. But there is Prowl, same artwork from the front of the box. Love that artwork. Here's what the set includes. 3 missiles on a tree. Launchers. In the book, he has white launchers, and that's interesting too because mine had white launchers. His laser rifle, Prowl himself, and Mr. Sticker Sheet transformation. All the steps, and over here a pre-rub booklet. For it's kind of funny that if this is like some type of reissue, it has a pre-rub booklet. So anyway, and all this came with my set. Some stuff I put together for some figures, but all this came with my set. And back, I almost forgot to get Prowl checked off our list at number 17. There's Prowl checked off, and only the big bot to go. Let's get this guy transformed. Okay, take Prowl, open up his doors, and you could do like these steps in a lot of different ways. Open up the doors, then you take the hands, you unpeg them from underneath the car, rotate them out to the sides, and then you can slot his waist up like that. Then you stand him up, bring the chest down, open up the waist piece, and rotate him at the waist just like that. Close this piece back down, spread his legs, and adjust him as to per your desire. And here is Prowl all transformed into a robot. He has the sergeant stripes on his shoulder with the police star and badge. You can see the Autobot logo. Most of the stuff you saw in vehicle mode. Now you can see his waist, some stickers on his waist, some stickers behind his leg windows, and turbo on the side. A lot of stuff we saw in the previous mode. And right here you can see 2800 ZP on this side. Same stuff back here, same stuff going on here. And you can do that. Angle up his doors just a little bit. Okay, now Prowl came with a laser rifle. Here is this laser rifle. Same as Blue Streaks and Smokescreen. Pretty cool, a lot of detail. Love the chrome. The chrome was a huge selling point. Made these guys seem special somehow. And the way you can differentiate these guys' weapons is the color underneath when it wore off matched the figures from red for Blue Streak and white for Prowl. There's his gun in his hand. Mine's a little loose at the shoulders. Always been loose at the shoulder. Probably because it was manufactured in China and not Japan. That's just my theory. And here are his launchers. Missiles in it. His missiles don't even fire. I think they did when I first got them, but just sitting around all these years, don't fire at all. They peg onto the sides of his head. Got some holes in the sides of his head. You know what? Let's take a look at his face first before I get him all dressed up. I can take a look at his face. And speaking of Prowl's face, the Autobot logo on his chest that we all know and love is based on Prowl's face. And you can say, well, he has the same face as Blue Streak. But the artist that created the face saw a Prowl face and made the Autobot logo off his face. And if you didn't know, now you know. And you may have looked at it and like, hey, he kind of looks like the Autobot logo. But yep, that's where it comes from. And then speaking of my face, the head on this particular version of Prowl is different than most. The red stripes are a metallic chrome on most of these. And the one I had as a child, it was metallic chrome. On this one, It's just a flat standard red, which stands out a lot. That and the Diaclone on the doors and the stamping really make this guy like a different piece. Oh, and the box. Let's not forget the Chinese on the box. So here's Prowl all armed up. Prowl was the very first Transformer I ever owned as a kid. I remember going to JCPenney's Transformer Story Time and hoping to find Transformers in the store for the first time. I walk into the store and I see Transformers on the end cap, and I jump off the escalator, run over there. I'm hoping to find Optimus Prime. I run right past the Autobot cars and turn the corner to see if I see Optimus Prime. They didn't have Optimus Prime. There were absolutely no Decepticons and no Mini-Bots. And I remember they did not have Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, or Mirage. It came down to Jazz, Wheeljack, and Prowl. And basically, I wound up going with Prowl because all my life I had played with police cars, like from the Dukes of Hazzard police cars to the little Hot Wheels police cars. And I really liked the light bars on the back of the car. So I actually went with Prowl because of the light bar, the little translucent in the chrome. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting this one. So this was my very first Transformer as a kid. Not this one, but I mean, I played with this guy intently. I mean, all this. I took it everywhere, put it in my pocket. And I actually, because he's fragile, I wound up breaking the windshield. I had another toy. I can't remember what. He fell back on it when I was getting up to do something, and it broke, and I didn't realize it was broke till I came back, and I was devastated, and I had to glue it, and I had so much glue, like, because it kept breaking. I didn't have sense enough to scrape it off, but it was like a knot of glue right here. I kept gluing that windshield on, man. Then like the crazy glue would fog up the rest of the windshield, but I kept playing with Prowl, I tell you, man. And that's my G1 Prowl story. What is yours? Please put it in the comments below. So moving on, I want to tell you all that in the G1 cartoon, he was voiced by Michael Bell, who also voiced Scrapper and Sideswipe. I believe Sideswipe. He has a ton of voice credits, like from Grouchy Smurf and Hefty Smurf and just Duke from G.I. Joe. He was Duke. Can't forget that. And they probably didn't get enough run on the cartoon. And speaking of cartoon, man, when they in Transformers the movie, when they entered the shuttle and blasted this guy, like when Brawn got shot in the '86 movie, he was like, man, they hurt Brawn pretty bad. But when they shot Prowl, like it went through the hood here, and his eyes lit up and smoke came out of his mouth, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute. Are these guys dying? But because you had never seen a Transformer die, I wasn't quite sure until Megatron put the barrel on Ironhide head and blew him to dust. And I'm like, holy crap, all those guys are dead. And man, but this guy, his was like, even though like Ironhide's was like merciful because he was just blasted and he was gone. But Prowl was like cooking from the inside out. And it was like, whoa. But man, they shouldn't have did that to Prowl. I really love Prowl. I was so mad. And I remember thinking, like, when Optimus Prime show up, he better kill them all and get revenge. And Optimus Prime didn't kill nobody. But Optimus Prime shot some of everybody, and none of those guys died. Not even Megatron. But anyway, all right, everybody, it's time for the size up and the rundown. Here he is with his mold mate Blue Streak from the '84 wave. Here he is with Earthrise Prowl. Here he is with a Black Series Stormtrooper, because why not? Here he is with Green Lantern because they're both cops, you know, in a way, you know. No? Okay. Here he is with Masterpiece Prowl. This is how he scales next to Optimus Prime. This is how he scales with Reflector. You know what? Here's Prowl with the entire G1 Search and Rescue team. Now, as far as reissues for this figure go, he only has two that I'm aware of. He has the Takara book style reissue where he came in a white box, and he has the United States Toys R Us reissue that came in supposedly like the book style, but decoed in the red striping, pinstriping of the G1 box. And at Toys R Us, those figures were kind of crap. They came out between 2002 and 2004, and the gun was like not chromed, it was all black, and the missiles were all black. So those are the only two. Any other Prowl you might see to say reissue are KO, especially if it looks like the vintage box. So those are the only two reissues that I'm aware of. Oh, buying tips, since I'm talking about everything about Prowl. Because he is white, you want to watch for fading and yellowing. I have some on the headpiece and these shoulder cannons, but not to the paint. You want to watch for paint chipping on the die-cast parts, the legs here and the hood here. Paint chipping, chrome wear to his gun and his chrome accessories, his missiles and all that. And hopefully, unlike mine, you can get some to actually fire. And these don't. And the most standard versions come with the gray launcher. So I have gray launchers just to let's make sure my stuff is complete. You know, like I know what he comes with standard, so I want to make sure I have that. And got a missile for the gray launcher, and let's see if these fire. And there we go, that one fires. But he's supposed to most versions come with the gray launcher, so I made sure he had some. You want to make sure the window is not broke. It breaks right here, and because the waist spins around in transformation, you want to make sure the waist is not broken. These windows right here break pretty easily too. They're kind of brittle. And the tires, the rubber tires, you want to make sure they're not cracked and split and dried out. And of course, you can remove them like most of them. And then, oh man, they still have that rubbery new smell. If you ever had a new Transformer car out of the box, you can smell like the oil, the pins, and the rubber tires, man. Now, as a kid, that was like a heavenly smell, cracking up a new Transformer. And I think that's all I got for buying tips on Prowl. That is pretty much it. On Prowl, he represents the last of the cars in this countdown, or the Autobot cars in this countdown. So please don't forget to tell me your Transformer story below. I want to thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.